Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Monday the 9th of July. So we're starting the week with the euro pushing up. It's broken through its daily 50, heading at the moment towards the monthly R1. And that monthly R1 ties in quite nicely with some previous highs there. I quite like the look of that. If this is what we're going to see, so be it. But the trend on this 4-hourly, it's been slow at times, choppy, but it's undoubtedly still looking like it's heading up. I was looking for some sort of divergence at this sort of level here. I can't see any on either the RSI or the MACD. So you just go searching for things sometimes, and hopefully you'll find what you want to find, and it's just not there at the moment. However, there is a weekly pivot which I'm looking at below, which if it did start selling off, and that would be a rather nice target, round about at least 38, maybe nearly 50% of actually of some of the retracements that we'll see here, but just 23% of the overall move. That's probably pushed up. Anyway, at the moment there's no divergence on this time frame. It still looks like it's pitchy, although not the prettiest on this 30 minutes. Just switch this to a 60 for a moment. There we go. So we're going to end up with a bit of a shooting star. Now we've got daily pivot, weekly pivot below. Maybe a break of the trend here. The upper trend here may see me look for the short side of the market. I just need to be a bit patient this morning to see how this goes. Never particularly like it when we see a flyer first thing in the morning. Doesn't always get back to targets, and initially it may take a bit longer. It may just come to a nearer point, such as the 60.21 for example. So if it does sell off this morning, so just watching this carefully. Okay, sentiment's still quite similar to last week from the big traders, which I'll cover much more in the weekly outlook later. But for now, maybe we'll see a pullback, but the overall trend, and it may be that these points, we should be more focused on them as buy points maybe than trying to sell this market, but do wonder. Anyway, moving on to the pound. And the pound had a bit slower time. It's way down the pitch compared to the euro, but still heading up nonetheless towards the daily 50 at the moment. Maybe we'll daily 50. Maybe we'll push through to monthly monthly R1 at some point, but let's just see if it gets to the daily 50 first. Be interesting to see how the markets take any news from the Brexit internal negotiations first, and we'll see how that works its way out. But for now, pound pretty much the same, shoving up here. It's come down to this hourly. It's gapped up last night, filled the gap quite quickly, so there's no gap there, but looking like it might end up with a bit of a shooting star. And again, we've got daily pivots, weekly pivots below. So if these markets do roll, it gives us a constant or consistent, should I say, sort of target on both the pound and the euro. Quite like it when it's like that, even if it doesn't get back to them. At least they're both doing it. Dollar yen, well, we ended up with a bit of a down day. It's slow and it's choppy. This market, it just sort of goes, the risk comes back off, and the yen recovers, but it heads back south, and then the risk goes on, and it pushes back up again. It's choppy as it can be at times. On a daily basis or intraday basis, still got some potential to shove up there. Weekly pivots above us at the moment. It's just not a nice picture on the 4 hourlies at the moment. So just for an intraday basis, well, if it breaks the trend at the upper side there, maybe we will get a shift. This trend here, if it starts doing this, may get a bit more of a move and head back towards the highs there, the weekly R1s first. So got some potential there. I'm still airing. I mean, this would tie in if this starts pushing up with the euro and the pound coming off. So there is some potential. And coming down one more time frame there, and you've got the daily pivot just above and the weekly just above that. So targets, as I said, are above, but at the moment you look at this 60-minute chart, it's not the most attractive for a day trading point of view. From a day trading point of view, even if only I could say that on a Monday morning. It's all that excitement of watching some football over the weekend. Anyway, looking at the Aussie dollar, and well, we got into the monthly pivot, and well, it's see if we can see what the reaction is here. I mean, it could pitch up a little bit further into the into that daily 50 at this rate. It's got some potential. If the others are pushing up, this too could push up, but again, it's got weekly pivots and daily pivots below. So again, if we see any sell-off, again, it's a bit overbought. Maybe here, maybe there is a fractional divergence on the Aussie dollar here. Although it does look like that might have been worked off. We'll see. It's not looking the strongest of candles that we're seeing on these 60 minutes at the moment. In fact, the pound's looking stronger again, but maybe we'll see these sell off. Maybe just back to, as I say, to their 21s. We just need to be really careful if anyone wants to take the opposite side of these markets. And finally, the Canadian dollar. It's been my least favourite mostly, but it did at least pitch down properly and start moving out of the range on Friday. It's closed below that monthly pivot. I was just waiting, and I think many others were actually waiting to see what sort of bounce it might have got off that monthly pivot, but it just spent 2 days or so just chipping along here. The news that came out, the balance on Friday was a little bit more positive for the Canadian dollar versus the US dollar, and we saw the sell-off of the US dollar there. Now, where we got the monthly pivot above us here, monthly, daily, weekly even, and daily. So we've got a couple of targets above if these do start pitching up, and we've got the hammer at the moment. So all in all, one thing with these markets is they're all correlated either negatively or positively with dailies and weeklies. It's whether or not we see a continuation of this dollar weakness we've seen over the last periods, and whether these they charge back, as I say, towards their dailies and weeklies. Okay, that's pretty much it for me. News-wise today, there are actually, sorry, I should mention these. We have got at 8:50. We've got a Bank of England MPC member speaking at 8:50. So he's due to deliver opening remarks at the Economics and Psychology Conference hosted by the Bank of England. There we go. So 8:50. And then we got Draghi, and there's, I think there may be more due to testify from 2 o'clock onwards. 2, 4 and 4 o'clock I'm seeing Draghi testifying there, but testifying about the economy, monetary policy and virtual currencies before the European Parliamentary Economic and Monetary Affairs Committee in Brussels. So that's at 2 o'clock, and 4 o'clock he's testifying in front of the European Parliament Economic and Monetary Affairs Committee in Brussels. So there we go. Draghi's going to be busy this afternoon, could create some volatility through the afternoon. That's pretty much it for me. I hope you all have a great day. Bye for now.